Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Alex, and welcome back to the Puck Luck channel. Today, we're going to be talking about NHL 24 and all of the things that I thought about the beta and what I expect from the game in the coming weeks and the news that we might get. For the first time in a while, I feel like EA is kind of listening to us a little bit. I don't know if it's a sort of a PR stunt to sort of appease to us because they feel like maybe we're, really realizing that how bad the game is, or it could just be that they do have a new director in place who came in about a year ago. So he started to work on NHL 24, and sort of that between his new ideas and the mix of the senior workers, maybe we're getting a different sort of kind of realization from EA, which is nice. It's a good refresher. It kind of all started back when they did the little conversation between the two senior and new developer for NHL 24 and the EA NHL team, and we kind of got the first glimpse of sort of maybe what we could see in the future of the game. They talked a lot about how they want to introduce all these great new modes and stuff like that, but it's not something they can do year to year. It's something they have to work on for a bit, and then it will be released in one of the future titles. Now, I don't know how true that is. I don't know if they're saving their own back, but I would say it's more likely than that it is true, and that they're just trying to work the best that they can, and I'll give them some credit for being transparent. Let's get into NHL 24. I played the beta for a couple of hours, and I didn't play a lot of World of Shell. I played the HUT CPU, AI only game modes where you play a historic event, Makar's first goal, and stuff like that. And I enjoy playing those game modes because it gives me an idea of sort of where the AI is at. Now, I will give it some, credit, and I'll give it a little bit of, a leash to run, is what I'm trying to say, because it is a beta. I don't expect the AI to be, where it should be, or at least at release. But once we get towards the release of the game, I hope the AI has been updated. But it does feel like maybe we're not going to get that update just yet again. I feel like the AI is still lacking in a lot of areas. For example, let's talk about the biggest controversy of the beta from what I read online. The pressure gauge. Now, it's a fantastic addition and a really good idea, I think, from EA. It is a realistic option when you're in the NHL, when you play hockey in general. If you ever played, you know the feeling of just being out defensively on the ice, just circling, and as the team just continues to apply pressure and pressure and pressure, and it just gets to the point where it's like, you just want to get off the ice, and your goalie definitely can feel it as well. Um, you know, it's that sort of scenario that is true to the game, but it's not being implemented perfectly into NHL 24 at the moment from the beta. A lot of people are saying they can still rag the puck in the offensive zone and gain that gauge and let it fill up, and you still get the same impact rather than it being based off of hits or dekes or shots particularly, and I'll get back to shots for the pressure gauge in a moment. Just all those things accumulated are sort of not adding up to where the game should be, and doesn't feel authentic. And especially for a competitive stance, if your players are constantly, just ragging the puck in the corner, getting that gauge up, and then you have an advantage over anybody, that becomes an issue. And we know for years it's been an issue where if you rag the puck, in the corner, it just becomes, inevitable that they'll score. Even after the addressed problems in NHL 23, where they said that the player will slow down if they tried to rag the puck, it kind of went away after a while, and that's what EA does. They release a good idea, they leave it patched, that version of the game out for maybe a month or so, and then after that they tune it, and it gets ruined. And sometimes it's faster than a month. I've noticed, especially just playing offline, it happens a lot. Going back to the shots, and intertwining it with the AI, when your pressure gauge is increasing the effectiveness of shots, taking shots in the offensive zone and making key passes, and your AI that you're playing against isn't doing that, it kind of gives you a bad vibe of sort of how the game is going to be once it releases. Now, to be fair, I wasn't probably playing on the highest difficulty for these offline games, and nor was I even playing in the most, realistic fashion either. Who's to say if I do a full sim version of the game with 6-minute periods, which is what I play now, which usually gives me a pretty good balance of like shots to goals and everything like that, including penalties in there as well that are played for a full 2 minutes. That usually gives the most realistic game. Who's to say that this isn't going to fix it? But I really, really would love to see, just for once, the AI just shooting from any angle and just ripping them, because why not? It's going to give them an advantage. I'd love to see it. On top of that, goalies didn't feel necessarily any better or worse. It felt still the same. I still felt like as the defensive player in the zone, I felt like I still had to throw everything I can at the puck, because if that shot was coming, it was in the net. And that's where, I really hope they add shots to the game and then increase the goalie's effectiveness, or at least give me the option as an offline player. Maybe online you do whatever you want, but offline player, I would love to be able to just take a slider and just boom, maximum shots. That would be great. Just give me the ability to play the game I want to, play the way I want to play. That would be fantastic. So that's my, feel for the pressure gauge and the AI. There was other conversations about the goalies. People tried the new system. It wasn't great. I played it for a little bit. It was really bad. I played quite a bit of Beer Pro offline in the last few months as a goalie, and I learned to play the game and how to predict shots and stuff like that from the AI. And it was a lot of fun because I got to the point where I made the system so good in my favor that I was getting like 30 shots a game and getting, only a goal or two against or a shutout. And it was fun. It felt realistic. And I got used to that. But when I played the tethered system that they've now introduced into NHL 24, I felt very grounded and felt like almost like it was pulling me away from what I wanted to do. And it felt like it was telling me that I don't know how to play goalie and they're telling me where I should be on the ice. When in reality, I felt like, I would try to move to the left a little bit more. I, cheat for the shot, and it would just pull me right back to the middle and I wouldn't be able to react in time, and they'd rip a shot on me. So it was very frustrating. Now, it has been addressed, by the way. There's a tweet. They said, we're going to fix that. We're going to, add the ability to go back to the standard one. So that's where the transparency, I feel like EA has done more than ever. I feel like it's certainly more prevalent this year. They're just saying, hey, this is what's happening. Accept it or don't. That's the reality. For the control system, Total Control is a really fun addition, especially for offline players who really just don't care and they want to have fun. You guys know me for a while. Big offline guy. Every time NHL comes out, I talk about offline modes. If you're a World of Chell player or online player, I could see how Total Control can be very frustrating, as really just clicking a single button can pull off certain moves. Not that most of the moves were difficult in the first place. The one that was the most difficult was the Michigan, and now that you can just click a button and do it, now granted you still have to time it properly and you still have to pull it off in a fashionable manner, but the whole scheme of getting used to the controls and getting used to the swing of it, which took me a while to get used to, and I wasn't able to pull it off nearly as much as I can now in NHL 24. I could see how that would be a concern, and hopefully for online fact they do nerf it and make it not as easy, especially if a player is a 70 overall and he's not very good. He shouldn't be able to pull it off easily. Obviously your McDavids, your Crosbys and everything like that, if they could pull it off, absolutely, that'd be sick. Another thing to note for the Michigan, it was actually pretty cool to see. There wasn't just the pull it onto the flat part of your blade and then whip around to the front of the net. Now they actually, if you were tilted more towards their forehand, it would try to flip it onto the stick and then go around this side of the net. It's a little hard to explain, but I think if you played the beta, you understood what I just said. But it was a Michigan, but it was simplified, and it was very nice to see. I'm curious to see where the rest of the game goes. Overall, I'm looking forward to seeing how the game plays. I will give it the 10-hour trial, and then I'll decide if I want to buy the game. That's usually what I do every year. Hopefully they adjust and fix and continue to work on this game. One feature I really am scared that's not in the game again is the full broadcast option for replays. Again, offline mode player type of thing. But we'll see. Tomorrow we get a gameplay trailer, so I'll let you guys know what I think of that. As always, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.